Hello guys, in this tutorial we will explore some tools and create a creature with Meshmolder 2020 Professional Edition. First, we will select man head in the Start Mesh panel. I usually use the Remesh tool to get the mesh ready for changes. Then we use the Smooth tool to make the surface smoother. We can then use the All Uniform tool to keep the mesh more uniform for the digital sculpture process. Now I will show you the new segment tool, which can be used when the model has few polygons. As you press the left mouse button, or the tablet pen, a cylindrical shape defines the shape you want. To make fingers of hands and feet is excellent. In this example I will make horns as an example. This tool is only available in the professional version and can be very useful in some details. Another new tool in the professional version is the Line Mark tool. I will use it only as an example, and for that I use the Control key to mask the line I want to isolate to be changed. For creating hard surface it will be very useful. For that I will invert the selection, clicking Control and Alt key and click the screen with the right mouse button. With tablet the process is the same. Then we can make local changes. Always use the Control key to mask regions, so you can make changes to only a certain part of the mesh. To disable masking, click on the screen and drag, similar to ZBrush. In this way the coloring returns to normal and the points are no longer frozen to sculpt. Now I will proceed with the modeling of our character. I often use the wax brush to sculpt. Remember that to invert the brush, just hold down the Alt key. I will make a simple model to demonstrate the sculpture process, including several individual pieces. When we click Create Level, a new subdivision level is created and more details can be created. I load the lower and upper jaws available on the Meshmolder to facilitate the tutorial, but they can be done directly on the mesh. Then I want to add the eyes this way too. This model that I am making will be for rendering in Keyshot software, so it will not be directed to creating retopology for games. I will not use some UV functions and will use the mesh only to create a demonstrative image. In another tutorial I intend to show the use in creating characters for Unreal Engine 4. In this version of Meshmolder there are new alphas for detailing surfaces. In addition to the professional version you can load your own alphas. To use alphas remember that you must have a mesh with millions of triangles to be able to perceive each detail. In this mesh I will use only 2 alphas, but you can exercise your imagination, adding even small pores on the skin. Okay, now let's start painting our mesh. I will do a quick painting, demonstrating how to mix colors using the paint alpha. It determines the intensity of the color. The lower the alpha value the more transparent the color, the softer the mixture. If you want to put a soft color over another color, lower the alpha to almost 0. With the painting finished, it's time to capture the UVs automatically. We will create the textures and OBJ files for each mesh that makes up our creature. Then we will load these files into Keyshot for rendering. In the Keyshot software we keep all objects in the same position as the original created in Meshmolder. Then we select all pieces to be above the Keyshot plane. For each imported mesh, we configure the mapping as UV coordinates. For our creature's skin, select the translucent type, which creates the characteristics of an organic skin. The textures created in Meshmolder 2020 prevent color breaks when rendering. Even though it is a slow process of capturing UVs, it makes up for the final quality in rendering. The rendering process requires several configurations until you reach a final image or way, but Meshmolder facilitates this process by enabling you to add different materials for each mesh created. In another tutorial I will show you the process of using bump mapping to obtain rich details in meshes with few polygons, a technique widely used in games. This was a very simple example of how you can create any organic mesh using Meshmolder. The professional version is provided through a symbolic donation of $5 to help the constant development of this alternative 3D sculpture software. New tools are constantly being developed and you can contribute ideas on our forum. Go to www.meshmolder.com and participate, because the more feedback, the more powerful Meshmolder can be.